Welcome back to Sports Visions. Joining me right now is one of the greatest running backs that I've ever known and played with, my classmate, my UGA teammate, Herschel Walker. Welcome to Columbus.
Hey, thank you for having me here. I tell you, I love Columbus. I get a chance, and it's strange because as I travel around the world, I met a lot of people from Columbus, and the first thing I said, did you go to Hardaway or did you go to Darryl Jones School?
Darryl Jones School is actually George Washington Carver for you folks who don't know. But Herschel, man, I'm so proud of you. Everybody knows about your football accolades. Of course, I had the pleasure of joining you and your family in 1982 at the Heisman ceremony in New York. We won't talk about that. What I want to talk about is your transition into business. I mean, a lot of folks have known a lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards, a lot of awards on the football field. But I'm most proud of you of what you've been doing in business. Let's talk a little, bring the folks up to speed on what's going on.
Well, I've been very fortunate. Today, one of the things I think I'm proud of is in the last 8 years, I've had an opportunity to visit bases all over the world. We treat between 45 to 5,000 soldiers a year. I'm a part of a program called Patriot Support, where we travel all over the world. I speak at bases, like I said, once a month, anywhere in the world, downrange to Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. I'm in San Diego next week. But also my food company that I started 20 years ago is the largest minority-owned chicken company in the United States. I started a promotion company about 10 years ago, which is the largest one minority-owned in the United States, and also a Best Red Drapery company where we have almost 150 women in South Carolina that sold Best Reds and Draperies for a hotel. So I've been very fortunate. One of the things my mom told me a long time ago, she said, if you give a man a job, you give him self-worth. And, I started companies not to make money. I felt that the companies pay for themselves, and, God has blessed me through football. I'll be happy. And the company has been very, very successful for me. But it's the same thing in football. It had nothing to do with Herschel Walker. It had to do with you had a good team. And that's what I say. I got a good team. And that's what I try to tell people, even when they talk about me playing at Georgia. I said, guys, you look at the team I was on. You look at the people I played with. We were not the biggest, the fastest, but I tell you what, we would get after your butt. And I said, you look at Nat Hudson, Tim Morrison, look at all those guys that play, Blake Wood, and, you look at those guys that play, they got after people. You hardly ever saw me get hit in the backfield. It gave me a chance to run, and that's what I did. And you look at people like yourself, I came in with a great freshman class, and I continue to say this, I don't think I was the best athlete in that class. There's no doubt. I think Freddie Gilbert was. And then you think about Scott Williams, yourself. I came in with a great class that they encouraged Melvin Simmons. And look at Terry Ho. You can just keep naming guys. That was a great class, and I said that's what made us a great team. We had a great group of guys that we encouraged each other. We loved each other, and that's what counts.
You also affiliated with the hotel company.
I forgot about that.
We came up. True. I caught the one in Atlanta, of course, yes. Right across from the Fox. But you just had most recently one in Savannah.
We do. We own the Georgia Terrace Hotel. I sit on the public traded board, and also we just opened up the Soto down in Savannah. We reopened that down in Savannah. We have a couple of hotels all over the United States to try to keep them in the South, to bring that Southern hospitality back to the South, where you have that yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, and great food and different things, and that's what I'm doing. And that's what's so weird. I started talking about some of the things I'm doing, I forget about some. So it's good for me to mention the hotel. So I'm tell everybody to go stay at the Georgia Terrace Hotel, but you got to pay. Nothing is free. We got good food, and down in DeSoto, down in Savannah, and we also own the hotel right across and down in Jacksonville. Across from the stadium where the Georgia Dolls play at, the Crown Plaza across from the stadium where they take the boats across. We own that hotel there as well. So I've been involved in that now for a couple of years, and they're putting up with me a little bit.
Lastly, I got to ask you about the Dogs. I know that number 3 in the country right now and undefeated, and I know that you and I, we're prideful with our Georgia Bulldogs. But again, we hadn't seen a defense that played like that in a lot of years.
We haven't, and I wanted to bring them back to Junkyard Dolls, but I probably shouldn't do that because I don't want to offend them, so I can bring them back to Junkyard Puppies or something like that. But they're playing well. They bend, but they don't break. One thing that I like about them is they hit people, and that's what you got to do.
Before we go, this last thing that I want you to know, I got some parents, I got some kids and coaches watching out there. Herschel, talk a little bit about your background coming up, because some kids out there who might not be getting letters from colleges, they might not be getting the looks, the parents don't think that the coach is doing the job for them. But if they're destined to play at the next level, what advice do you have for them?
The advice I give them: don't give up. You don't stop. You continue to work hard, and most of all, get your grades. I think that's so important. Is get your grades, get to a college, and don't give up. You know, I saw a movie, and I want to encourage a lot of people to go out and see this movie the other day, and I was embarrassed because I have a plant in Arkansas, in Silo Springs, Arkansas, so I'm around the Razorbacks a lot. But there was a movie called The Grader, and it was a young man that was a walk-on. They called him fat. They said he was overweight, that he'll never make it. Well, he had a dream. He had a dream that he was going to play for the Razorbacks, and tell you what, he played for the Razorback. Not only did he play for the Razorback, he became a starter, and you know, he got drafted in the NFL. Never played a lick of pro ball, but he was killed going home to take his mom to church. I watched this movie, and I think that movie can encourage a lot of young people that, you know, if you have a dream, you believe in that dream, but you got to work at it. One thing I tell those young men out there, young men and women, so you're going to have sacrifices, and I think that's what they got to come. You got to have sacrifices. If you want to make good grades, that means you can't be going to parties. That means you can't go out and do those crazy things. You want to be a good athlete, that means you got to work a little harder. After practice, you got to get your grades. You're going to have to give up a couple of things. You can't be smoking, can't be drinking. You know, whatever you want to do, you got to sacrifice, and that's what people got to realize.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest running backs of all time, the 1982 Heisman Trophy winner, Herschel Walker. We'll be right back after this.